Hey, I'm Laura, and today we're going to talk about something very controversial: parenting, discipline, and whether we've gone too far with being gentle. Let me start with a question. When did discipline become something negative? When did setting boundaries become too harsh? And when did we start believing that being kind means avoiding consequences? Because if you look at what's happening today, more and more teachers feel powerless, more and more parents feel overwhelmed, and more children grow up without clear limits. So maybe the real problem is not that we are too strict, but that we are no longer strict enough. Now, let's be clear about something from the beginning. This is not about promoting violence. This is about something much deeper: the difference between discipline and permissiveness. Because many people confuse kindness with the absence of consequences, and psychologically, that confusion has a cost. In the past, discipline was simple: clear rules, clear consequences, immediate feedback. Children knew where the line was. Today, that line is often blurred. Rules are negotiated, consequences are delayed, authority is constantly questioned. And while this shift came from a good intention, to create safer, more understanding environments, it also created something else: uncertainty. From a psychological perspective, children need structure. They need boundaries, not to control them, but to help them regulate themselves. There is a concept called behavioral conditioning. It simply means that behavior is shaped by consequences. When actions have no consequences, the behavior continues. Not because children are bad, but because the brain learns through patterns. Another important concept is authoritative versus permissive parenting styles. Research consistently shows that the most effective style is authoritative parenting. Not authoritarian, not permissive, but balanced. This means warmth plus clear rules, empathy plus firm consequences. On the other hand, permissive parenting, where rules are weak or inconsistent, often leads to low self-discipline, poor emotional regulation, difficulty respecting authority. Now let's talk about something uncomfortable. Why do some children today feel more comfortable being disrespectful? Why is bullying still such a big issue? Part of the answer is this: when there are no immediate consequences, boundaries are tested more and more. Not because children want to cause harm, but because they are exploring limits. And if those limits are not clearly enforced, they disappear. There's also something called delayed consequences versus immediate consequences. The brain, especially in children and teenagers, responds much more strongly to immediate feedback. When consequences are unclear, delayed, or inconsistent, the learning process weakens, and behavior becomes harder to correct. Now here's where the conversation becomes truly controversial. Some people believe that strict discipline in the past created more respectful adults. Others believe it created fear, not respect. And the truth is, both can be true. Because discipline without understanding can create fear, but lack of discipline creates chaos. So the real question is not, should we be strict or gentle, but how do we create balance? There's a phrase in English that fits perfectly here: walking on eggshells. Many adults today feel like they have to walk on eggshells around children, afraid to upset them, afraid to say no, afraid to enforce consequences. But children don't need adults who are afraid of them. They need adults who are stable, predictable, and consistent. Because consistency creates safety. Not softness alone, not control alone, but clarity. Let's also address another important idea. Does strict discipline create respectful adults? Not automatically, but lack of discipline often creates adults who struggle with responsibility, frustration, tolerance, accountability. There's a psychological term for this: low frustration tolerance. When children are not exposed to limits, they don't learn how to handle discomfort, and later in life, this becomes a serious obstacle. Think about real life: work, relationships, challenges. Life doesn't adjust itself to your comfort. So if a child grows up without learning boundaries, they enter the real world unprepared. So what's the solution? Not fear, not punishment for the sake of punishment, but clear, consistent consequences. Discipline that teaches, not just controls. Because real discipline is not about power. It's about guidance. It's about helping a child understand your actions have consequences. And that lesson is one of the most important lessons in life. So maybe the real problem is not that we became too kind, but that we forgot how to combine kindness with structure. Now I'm really curious. Do you think modern parenting has become too soft? Or do you think strict discipline does more harm than good? Tell me in the comments. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe.